Hey guys, YouTube Boy 100 here. Alright, now as promised, now here I am to give my thoughts on the new Men in Black movie, Men in Black International. So, yeah, as usual, this is going to contain some spoilers for the movie, so you may not want to watch this video until you actually have seen the film. Alright, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I really wasn't too sure what to expect from this film. Since this film isn't really like a straight sequel to the other three films, and this film really is just a spin-off Men in Black film, I really didn't know what to expect with it because yeah, this film really doesn't have like any of the original characters. Like K and J are not in this film, and yeah, this film is like set around like the it is set like around the UK branch of the Men in Black. So yeah, so in this film, like it's like set in London, and it's around like the Men in Black organization in London. So yeah, so we are like surrounded around like a whole other cast of characters in this film. And yeah, and I wasn't really too sure what to expect with this film. I mean, since it was a spin-off, I really didn't know what to expect. I just really didn't know really what they were going to do with this film. And I was just thinking, oh, it could work out, or it could turn out being just an absolute fail. And yeah, I've like been seeing like how this film was doing on Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics really are not liking this film all that much. But the audience overall does like it seems to have a relatively good audience score. So yeah, I really was just the reactions on it was just so mixed, with critics feeling one way and audiences feeling another. I just really didn't know how this film was going to turn out. So, but yeah, I did go see this film today, and I gotta say, the film it was interesting. I mean, yeah, it was definitely like a pretty different take on a Men in Black film, since of course like it is set in London and not like set around the American Men in Black organization. So yeah, but overall, like this British organization of the Men in Black, they do seem to just pretty much handle things the same way. I mean, they still do have like the space guns and all like the same equipment of the Men in Black, like the neuralizer and everything else. So yeah, so the film really just yeah, the British organization of the Men in Black seem to overall still like do everything pretty much the same way that the American organization of Men in Black does. But yeah, in this film, of course, like we're set around like a totally different cast of characters, as I said. Like there's no K or J in the film, like I said, and there's really like not really like well, there's like a couple of the original characters. Well, the characters from the original three films back, but yeah, yeah. Mostly the film is really just like has a totally different cast of characters. So yeah, the film does like star Chris Hemsworth as the main Men in Black agent in this film, Agent H, and then there's also the like the new Men in Black agent in this film, Agent M, aka Molly, who's played by Tessa Thompson, and yeah, she's like a new recruit in this film. And this film also does have like some new cast members like Liam Neeson, Rebecca Ferguson, Kumail Nanjiani. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Yeah, and yeah, also like the film does also feature Emma Thompson reprising her role as Agent O from Men in Black 3. Yeah, she does like have a look. She does make like she does appear in this film a little bit. Like she doesn't really have like a huge major role in the film, but yeah, she is shown in the film. Like she actually does like recruit Molly to become a Men in Black agent and stuff, and so yeah, she does like make a small appearance in this film, and even like Frank, he's back in the film also. He makes like a small appearance, like when Molly actually does a step into the Men in Black pet quarters. Like it shows that guy that just sits by the entrance reading newspaper, and Frank is like right beside him. So yeah, Frank did make an appearance in this film, which I thought was interesting to see. Yeah, but yeah, Agent O and Frank are really like the only two recurring characters in this film. Like nobody else from the other three films just like reprised their roles. Like there's no Tommy Lee Jones, there's no Will Smith. I shouldn't like say that. Like it does show like at one point in this film in like the UK Men in Black chief, Chief T, like it does show like in his office there's like a picture of K and J in action. So yeah, I guess like it does like show them in the film a little bit. I guess they just like had to use that small Easter egg to get K and J to appear in the film somehow. So yeah, but yeah, they don't actually like make an actual like appearance in the film. Like they don't actually have any roles in the film. Yeah, but overall, like this film it was like interesting. Like it did like do a different take on a Men in Black story. I mean, it still like feature all the aliens and stuff, but and yeah, but it's not really like like what the original three Men in Black films did. Of course, like with the like in the first film with the bug coming down to Earth and trying to snatch the galaxy, and like in the two sequels, how there's the faces from K's past returning and just like wanting to do their objectives to take over the world and stuff. So yeah. So this film really doesn't do that. I mean, I guess it does like do like something similar to the first film, like with having the new recruit, who like how Jay was recruited in the first Men in Black. So it does do that, but yeah, after that, like it's not really like the same way as the original film does it. So yeah, it does do it differently. Yeah, and plus, yeah, the film also does like have like a in the film like a H and M end up like I'm recovering like a member of a small group of aliens that does join forces with them, and he like looks at M as his new mistress after his previous one was killed. So yeah, so that's kind of funny. And yeah, the film still does have like some alien action in the film. Like it does have like the Men in Black fighting with aliens, and plus at the end of this film, it does like have an interesting twist with a certain character. Yeah, I will like talk about that once I do reach the part in the film. But yeah, it is like an interesting film. Uh, I really like I said, I really wasn't sure like how this film was going to turn out. And I didn't know if it was just really going to be so terrible or if it was going to be watchable. And yeah, I do think that while it's like no absolute like masterpiece or anything, it was still like a decent film. So I think they did like try to do the best they could with it, considering like this film like did have a different director. Like Barry Sonnenfeld didn't return as the director for the film, and yeah, Danny Elfman, like his score was still like in this film, but he, it was really like more like just a stock music from like his scores in the previous film. So yeah, it was really just like reused the music. He was like, so yeah, there was some like new music in this film done by a different choreographer. So yeah, so it is that. So from the changes that they had to do, and plus like this, with just like how like they were trying to like kind of go down a different route with the Men in Black films, I think that this film like turned out being just fine. I mean, no classic or anything, but yeah, I do think it is worth a watch. Like if you are curious enough to just kind of see like a different take on a Men in Black film, I guess I would recommend watching the film. Like it is interesting enough to give it a watch. So yeah, so I would personally actually say that it's probably not a film that I really am gonna like say I really have to like. It's a must see. Like it's not something where I really would say that I would really like have to see it again. But yeah, I think it would. I would like put it on like sometime. Like I think I would probably at least watch this film over the second film. At least I do think that this film overall did better than the second film did. So yeah, so if it is better than another Men in Black film, I think that it has done its job well enough. All right, so yeah, I guess I'll just talk a little bit about the premise of the film. All right, so yeah, as the film opens up, it does show that uh, Agent H, who, like I said, is played by Chris Hemsworth, and High T, played by Liam Neeson, they end up stopping like an alien attack at the Eiffel Tower, and then it just like had a flashback like 20 years before how it shows Molly Wright like seeing her parents being neuralized by agents of Men in Black, and then apparently she has like some sort of alien in her room, and then like she ends up like helping it escape to avoid like herself being neuralized. Right? And it shows that years later, it shows that as she's like trying to apply to the FBI and CIA, and she's like being rejected because of like her own delusions regarding like the evidence that she has of alien life, and eventually she actually is he does like track down an alien that is landing, and she eventually does actually track down the location of the Men in Black headquarters. And like I said, as she was walking by, that guy at the entrance that showed Frank was there, and then she ended up like being caught trying to enter the agency, and then she eventually like ended up convincing Agent O, who, like I said, is still played by Emma Thompson. She told the Agent O that she does want to join the Men in Black, and she's just asking to be recruited. Who did? And she like convinced Agent O to recruit her by just telling her that she really doesn't have any other life outside of her search for the agency. And so then Agent O then granted her the recruiting, and then just like as she was like now like being um like dressing up for the Men in Black, she was like pretty much like they had the voiceover of her pretty much giving the same lecture to Molly that Zed gave to Jay when he joined the Men in Black. So yeah. And now Molly was now labeled Agent M, and then Agent O then just assigned her to the London branch of the Men in Black as a probationary agent. And so yeah, and then she eventually then made it to London, where she then met High T, who was the head of the London branch of the Men in Black, and then and he assigned her to assist Agent H in his meeting with Warpo the Ugly, who's like the member of an alien royal family who actually does kind of have a long-standing history with H. So yeah, he's like a member of a alien royal family similar to Rosenberg in the first movie. So yeah, I guess like this film does like kind of have like some similarities to the original film, with of course like him joining the Men in Black and now like this member of an alien royal family. So yeah. But then, like, as they were, like, with Warpole, they then ended up being attacked by a pair of some mysterious alien twins that actually are able to manifest pure energy, and then they ended up, like, seriously wounding Warpo, but then Warpo then just passed on a strange-looking crystal to M before he actually did die. And then, he just felt that he couldn't actually trust H with it, as, like, H had apparently like changed since the last time that they met. Yeah, and then and then another agent in the London branch of the Men in Black, Agent C, who's like has some suspicions of H's past. Yes, he like had some disdain for H's actions, but then M just pointed out that few people actually did really know Warpo's location when he was actually attacked, and then like they just came to the conclusion that Warpo's location was actually betrayed by one of the Men in Black agents that was present when High T actually did assign H to guard him. And then High T then assigned C and M then to undergo an investigation while H just ended up being relegated to desk duty. So yeah. Oh, and I should also probably just talk a little bit about uh, H and M in this film, because like I said, they're played by Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, and yeah, there were some people that were saying that they really didn't have very good chemistry, which I found kind of hard to believe because, of course, like Tessa Thompson played Valkyrie in a Thor Ragnarok, and they did really have some really good chemistry in that film, of course. So I was like, found it kind of hard to believe that they didn't really have good chemistry in this film. And once I heard that, but yeah, they actually did have some pretty good chemistry in the film. Once again, I really do think that because of how well they worked together on Thor Ragnarok, they were able to still have some really good chemistry in this film as well. It's similar to like with Johnny Depp and Freddie Highmore. Like they, of course, like before Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they did work together in the film of Finding Neverland. So I think because of that, that's why they actually were able to work well with each other in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I think that was really the case here as well with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. I do think that they still did continue to have some good chemistry with each other. So yeah, I just figured I would just talk a little bit about that for a second. All right, but anyway, getting back to this. Yeah, and then in like the investigation that C&M underwent, they eventually like conclude like their investigation like was suggesting that the twins had DNA traces of this parasitic race known as the Hive that actually did invade other planets by merging with the DNA of other conquered species, and then learned that H and High T were actually responsible for driving off a Hive invasion at the Eiffel Tower in 2016, which was what we have seen at the beginning of the film. And they used a wormhole included in the original Earth migration, but because that uh, at time H had like essentially declined, it demonstrated a lax attitude towards his duties, and it just like had like it like made like keeping his job because High T actually was covering for him out of respect for High T, uh, H's past. Yeah, and then H then over time convinced M to join him in following up a lead in Marrakesh, where Rachel, like it showed like earlier in the film, there was like an attack on Marrakesh from those two twins, Hins, and eventually H&M then came across like one of the last survivor of the small group of aliens that were attacked by the twins, and then he just told him that he was part of the pawns and that pawns don't have names, and then just decided to call him Pawnee, and then yeah, Pawnee then like had some new loyalty for Agent M, but and then like I said, he treated her as his new queen since like his last queen and part of the pawns was like killed in the attack, and then yeah, they ended up like being attacked by other MIB agents that were coordinated by C, and he like ended up recovering some video footage of Warpole passing on the crystal to M, and he just felt that she was actually like a traitor for the Men in Black. But H was able to like acquire a rocket powered bike with the aid of the alien contacts. And then he, M, and Pawnee were able to escape, and they like learned that the crystal Vorpo gave him was actually like a weapon that was powered by the fragment of a dwarf sun. And then, as they were like then like they ended up eventually like just being transported into like the Arabian desert or something. It was just like all sand there. Here. And then as they were like trying to repair the bike as it was damaged in the teleportation, and then H was able to steal the weapon to take it to an a three-armed alien known as a Risa Stravos, who was like a merchant that H actually had a past relationship for. And then, as they travel to the island fortress, they uh, HM and Pawnee then like were trying to infiltrate the base to recover the weapon, but they eventually ended up being caught by Riza and her bodyguard, which was like a really large, unusual type of alien. But then over time, then eventually, then like realized that the bodyguard was actually the small alien that she did rescue as a child, and then to return the favor to M, he then actually allowed them to escape with the weapon, even as Riza was contained, and then the three of them then ended up like being attacked by the alien twins, but the twins ended up being killed by High T and a group of agents. Just like yeah, during this whole thing, and with like the twin and agents attack, or yeah, like during the attack during this part of the film, like they probably made like the greatest reference they could of where, like, of course, like Chris Hemsworth does play Thor. At one point, like he was being attacked, and then like he just ended up like grabbing a hammer, a like small sledgehammer type of thing, and he actually did throw it, like making a Thor reference. I think it was probably just something that was just way too obvious to avoid. So yeah, and like when that part came on, like everyone was laughing in the theater at that part. Like it just had to be like one of the best references they could have made. Yeah, yeah. But then, like once the like High T and the other agents then brought the brought H and M back to headquarters, it appeared that the case like was concluded. But then H and M then, as they were looking over the evidence, they realized that the phrases from the twins could actually suggest that they did require the weapon to use against the Hive, rather than using it for the Hive. And so, and then yeah, when like the only evidence of Hive DNA was actually provided by a High T, Agent C then like felt that the evidence favors the ideas of High T's deception, and then he allowed H&M to actually follow High T to the Eiffel Tower, and then as the show, like as they traveled to the wormhole, like M was like questioning H's memories of his defeat of the Hive, but H actually told M that he was actually neuralized, which then High T he then like confirmed that after they confronted him, and then the Hive actually did convert High T into one of them. Him and H was neuralized so that he could act as the hero to conceal the true activities, and then it then revealed that a High T like actually was like the alien type of creature. So yeah, it was like an interesting twist right there. Yeah, and then the High T, who like he was also known as like the Hive hybrid, then like was then activated the wormhole that would actually like drive the rest of the Hive to Earth. But H was able to draw out the High T's true personality, to give M enough time to use the weapon to destroy the High T and the entire Hive infestation that was is trying to reach her through the wormhole. Yeah, yeah. And then after like the rest of the MIB like found out about like High T's conversion, and then Agent O then recorded M as a full agent of the Men in Black and gave her own neuralizer, and appointed H probationary head of the London branch of the Men in Black. And yeah, then the movie just ended with uh, M wanting to drive H's car. Yeah, there was like a bit earlier on in the film where she actually like wanted to drive the car, but of course like since this was like in London, like the driver's seat was like on the other side of the car than her. So yeah, like she sat in the wrong seat, but then here like she then was sitting in the driver's seat, and then yeah, H got in the car with her, and then they just pushed the little red button, and then yeah, the car then just ended up just flying around in the sky, and then yeah, that's how the movie then ended. It just went to credits after that. So yeah, like I said, this film was like an interesting film. Like there were some people that were really thinking that this really wasn't going to be too hot, and yeah, I guess think some people were probably thinking that this really was going to be like a real dumb film, but yeah, it turned out to be like good enough to recommend, I think. So yeah, I would. So yeah, if you are interested enough, if you are a fan of the Men in Black films, I would recommend this film. I think that this is definitely worth a watch, especially like if you do want to see like a kind of a different take on a Men in Black story with like just some different agents in the film rather than K and J. So I do think that the film overall it did turn out good enough to recommend. So yeah, check it out if you're interested enough. All right, so oh yeah, and I'm not really too sure like if this is gonna like lead to some other Men in Black spin-off films. I don't know if like they actually are planning to do more of these. And like I said, I also don't know if like they are ever gonna actually make a an actual like Men in Black 4 like a sequel to the original three films. It's because like I was saying just in my last review, like they were like in talks of that, but like the development like was halted only because of just some issues surrounding it. So yeah, I just really don't know like if like there is like a more of a future for the Men in Black franchise. So yeah, I don't really know if there will be more sequels or spin-offs or anything else. So yeah, only time will tell to see if we get more from the franchise. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, this was still a good enough film, and I would recommend it. All right, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So those are my thoughts on the new Men in Black International film. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say about this night. And yeah, I hope that my reviews of like the Men in Black trilogy were good enough for you. I know that I probably did leave out like a ton of stuff, but yeah, just because like I have watched the films like a lot, particularly like, the first film. Yeah, the sequels I really haven't watched too much, but with the first film, like I could have probably like made like an hour long review, and I really didn't want to. So I tried to keep it like as just simple as possible and just stick to the main premise of the film. But yeah, I hope that the review for all three films turned out okay, and this one turned out okay too. Uh, so I hope that these did good enough for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed what I had to say about the films. All right, so yeah, so stay tuned for more stuff coming. And so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.